Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Tea Time. It's funny, I started Tuesday Tea Time as Tuesday Tea with Atlas. And I didn't think it would last very long. I thought I would do a few posts and then I would move on to something else. But everyone seemed to like it so much, I kept going. When Atlas moved to our pastures where we don't have internet access, I had to change it to Tuesday Tea with Elsa because Atlas wasn't here. But he's back now. He just moved back up here to my house. Oh my goodness, it was yesterday. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. It's really, really nice to have him home again. Let's see if we can see them. Ari and Ram are in the other paddocks around, but they're very busy, those two. They have a lot of things to do. So I thought I would just do tea time with Atlas today, and we'll include the other two on a day they're more settled. They're still getting to know their space. And as you guys who have been following Atlas's progress, you know that he is pretty content. He likes to be pretty quiet. I still keep him by himself in his own paddock when he's not under my supervision. So anytime he's under my supervision, I can go ahead and let him out with the other stallion and with the geldings. And I'm there to encourage everybody to take a walk if their stress gets too high. If I'm not there and the stress gets too high, sometimes there's a fight and I don't want anybody to get hurt. So we're going to hope as the winter goes on that Atlas will get more and more emotionally stable. And as he gets more stable, hopefully he'll be able to be more and more integrated with the herd. It's my hope. Today, I wanted to talk about this idea of working with what you have. I'm an idealist. I love to imagine the very best scenario. And sometimes it's tempting to not do anything until you can do it perfectly. And I just want to really encourage everybody to work with whatever you have. Learn from that. Go forward with that idea that you're going to do the best you can with the information you have, with the space you have, with the horse you have. And yeah, sure, 10 years from now, you might know better and then you'll do better. But right now, you have to work with what you have. Atlas, Sandra says hi. He is more and more engaged and thoughtful and easy to work with all the time. But I still can't pick his feet up. We still have to walk for miles and miles over sand and gravel to wear his feet down because he is not ready to willingly offer me his feet off the ground. Now, last week, he gave me 1 foot for 1 moment, and he was not afraid. He didn't run away, he didn't fight, he didn't get worried. He just picked up his foot for me and put it back down, and then was easy. And it was like this huge gift. You know, I got 1 foot off the ground. I'm nowhere near able to trim them yet. You know, some people would say I should sedate him. Some people would say, you know, I should put him in a chute. There's all sorts of ways you could do it. And, you know, if that seemed like the right course to you, that's what you do. For me, an Atlas, given his history, given that he comes from a history of attacking people when he felt cornered or trapped, I'm not going to put him in any of those situations. I am going to walk with him over abrasive terrain like gravel or sand as much as he needs to wear his feet down so that it's reasonably healthy for him. And that's what we'll do until he can pick his feet up in a more voluntary way. And that's what works for me. Everyone is going to tackle things a little bit differently. And I guess for this tea time, what I wanted to say is that you do the best you can with the information you have, with the space you have, with the horse you have. And that's what it is. And then you learn from it, and then you try and do better. That's how we get better at things. Sometimes I really wish that I could just give people everything I know, that they wouldn't have to make my mistakes over again. And I guess that's why I teach. You know, my online courses sort of help me coach people through not having to make quite all the same mistakes I made, you know, learn from my experience. But ultimately, all of us have to learn from the experiences we have. And, you know, Atlas here has given me a lot of experiences I didn't expect. One of them was, for some reason, I thought that he was going to be thrilled to jump right back in the horse trailer and come home with me this winter. I should have started that a whole lot sooner. Because when I parked the horse trailer in his paddock, he proceeded to not even look at it for an entire day. For an entire day, he pretended that part of the paddock didn't exist. He was happy, he was calm, he was interactive. There was just a place in the paddock. He didn't look and he didn't go. And I thought, oh no, how am I going to get this horse home if I can't even get him to look at the horse trailer, let alone step in the horse trailer? And so I had a bit of a learning curve with, you know, how do I speed this process up in a way that's still respectful to Atlas and is not going to overwhelm him? Because that's the problem with a horse that has an abuse history. If you go to speed up their learning, you might well trigger them to remembering all sorts of bad things. And you have to be careful that you take it slow enough that they don't get overwhelmed and re-triggered. But then you get in a situation like I did, and you go, I've promised other people that I'm going to move this horse so that we can move all sorts of other horses into his space. And how am I going to get that done? I did end up delaying by a couple of days. I nudged all of my friends that were counting on me into delaying a couple of days to give me a little more time. And I worked through the process, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from it. And I'll post that on my Patreon video this week. So on Friday, for those of you guys who want to follow my progress Patreon, it's $3 a month if that's what you can afford. If you can afford more, that's great. But I post a video every Friday about the things that I'm learning and a little bit of a detailed account of how that progress is going with my development. Because I am working with what I've got until I've got more, which means I try things and they either go well or they go badly, Atlas. And then from there, I build on that. I do better next time. Hi, Shelly. I'm so glad you made it to tea time. So, yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a week. I feel like my brain is full, mostly from this guy. Atlas put me through all of my paces. He felt like there was a lot of things I needed to learn and understand and grow around, and so I did. Do I think I did it perfectly? No. I did the very best with what I had in the situation I had. And from that, I learned some things so that if I ever end up in a similar situation, I'll do better. And I just want to encourage every single one of you. Just because you're not perfect doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Whatever it is, you know, whether you're adopting a horse or you're riding a horse or you're taking a horse to a different location or you're caring for a horse, just do it to the best of your ability. Learn and then do it better. And this guy is granting me with some humility around that, because quite honestly, when I started filming Taming Wild Evolution, I thought I was pretty good at what I did. And I really thought it wasn't going to take very long before this guy was easy. And yeah, Atlas had some things to help me with around that. I've had to be a lot more humble than I anticipated. My learning curve's been a lot steeper. And, you know, part of me says, well, maybe I shouldn't have started a movie about training stallions this soon. Maybe I should have found another way to learn more before I dove into this. But the fact is, you know, this guy, he was days away from shipping to Canada to the slaughterhouse and becoming dog food or meat for Europe, or I have no idea what they do with horses after they leave the slaughterhouse. But if I hadn't taken him, nobody else is going to. So even though I feel like I had to learn a lot and I didn't necessarily know everything I needed to know before I got him, I'm really glad I got him. I'm really, really glad that he threw me for a loop, and you know, now I get to be excited about little things like I got one foot off the ground for a moment and then we put it back down and he wasn't upset. He wasn't angry. He wasn't scared. He wasn't worried. We just picked it up and put it down. Tomorrow, maybe we'll hold it for a little longer. Maybe it'll take months. I don't know. But I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. And then I'll learn more and then I'll do better. So that's my thoughts today for tea time. Thank you guys for joining me. Remember, if you have subjects you would like me to talk about, please send them to me. I have a big list that I'm compiling. I try and pick a subject that I have some sort of a personal story about, because I think it makes it more relatable to learn like that. But I really love looking at my list of suggestions each week and going, oh yeah, I think I have a story about that I can help with. So thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will talk to you next week. Goodbye, Atlas.